Hi there, welcome back to the channel. So glad you found us. Just got back from Live at the Reserve in Toledo, an amazing third year anniversary celebration with them there. We'll have lots of action in an upcoming episode. But before we get there, let's take a quick travel back in time where it all started. Our very first live stream at Ladies' Night. So without further ado, let's get into the action. We kick off the action with the first hand of the night, and I am under the gun. Now, I'm feeling just a tad bit nervous, so I do have to be reminded that I'm first to act, so I look down at the ace deuce of hearts and decide to limp in with a call. Jules, next to act, sees her ace 10 offsuit, decides to bump up the price of poker to 16 bucks, and folds go around to Lynn, who stares down at the ace jack offsuit. She decides to complete. And then Miss D, the reigning reserve ladies champion, decides to come on in with the clean diaper. That's the 3 deuce of diamonds. Now with all of this action and $50 in the pot, I decide I'm priced in. So I go ahead and complete. And now we go 4 ways to a flop of 8, 4, 3, 2 hearts. I flopped an open-ended straight plus the nut flush draws and decide to check to our pre-flop aggressor, Jules. Of course, she doesn't disappoint and tosses out a continuation bet for about 3/4 of the pot. Both Lynn and Miss D let it go, and I'm ready to go heads up with my 54% hand, and I make the call.
And Marty certainly is going to make the call here, and we're going to go heads up to the turn.
Well, Jules definitely likes aggression. We've seen that on a couple of the live streams now.
You know, poker is such an easy game when you flop the nut flush draw, then turn a hidden straight. So I try to get sneaky and I check it back to the pre-flop aggressor. But Jules has played far too many hands of poker to fall for this banana in the pipe trick. So she checks it back. The river comes, an inconsequential 9 of clubs, so I try to get a little more money into the pot and lead out for 75. Jules folds, I scoop the pot, and keep my whole cards a complete mystery. For now. Now I've got the big blind, and Jules decides to toss in the $6 straddle, picks up 4 callers, and I take a peek at pocket tens. Now, you know, it's going to be a cold day and you know where before I just make a passive call out of position with this hand, so I make it $50 to go. And after everyone folds and calls me out for a party foul, I take down the pot, and this time I show my whole cards. And on the very next hand, there's a $10 under the gun straddle by JJ. Tinley calls, and folds go around back to me in the small blind when I look down at the Cowboys. Again, I raise, but I downsize it a bit to 30 bucks. Jules folds, and we're right back to JJ, our straddler. Now, a little bit about JJ. She loves to be the person who pushes the action, and she might also be the little suspicious of this twice in a row raising act I seem to be managing. So she thinks about it for a minute and decides to 3-bet to $60. And as I look around the table, I'm pretty sure that my pocket kings are either way ahead or way behind. So I make a cold 4-bet to 120, praying to the poker goddesses that I don't get a snap all in. And as I continue to watch JJ weigh her options, I get a sense that if there are any cards higher than a 9 on the flop, it could spell trouble for me as I watch her make the call. The pot is now bloated to over $250 in this $1, $3 poker game. The dealer puts out the flop of 8-3 deuce with 2 clubs, and I say a little prayer of thanks to my lucky poker spinner that no ace came on the board. I fumble with my stack a bit, and I announce a pot-sized bet of $250 in an attempt to take this one down right here, right now. And while I watch JJ contemplate her next move, I can feel my heart pounding outside my chest. And I think I can hear Mike McDermott inside my head.
Doyle Brunson says the key to no limit is to put a man to a decision for all his chips. Teddy's just done it. He's representing aces, the only hand better than my Cowboys. I can't call and give him a chance to catch. I can only fold if I believe him. Or...
All in.
Wait, an all in.
Oh, wow. And she picks the absolute wrong time.
So I was wrong there. She was not saving face. She was trying to pull a bluff.
Man.
$1,100 pot, the biggest pot of the night, and she is basically drawing to runner tens.
Runner tens, really.
And as the board runs out clean for my kings, I'm up over $1,100. But the party is just getting started. In this hand, Megan decides to pump up the volume to $30, and I decide to jump in the deep end, kind of like Michael Phelps at the '08 Olympics. I'm holding on to Queen Jack of clubs in position in this multi-way pot. And after the dealer pulls in the 150 to the pot, he delivers the flop of King 10-4 and 2 hearts. Both Megan and Miss D check their blank aces, then Lori decides to toss out a feeler bet of 20 with her top pair. Now I have an up and down straight draw, so I'm going nowhere. Toss out 4 red chips. Both JJ and Megan find a fold, and Miss D, she wants to float to see if she can spike an ace. She makes the call as well. Haha, Miss D got what she was hoping for. She spikes that ace, and she checks what she thinks is her money card, but really is my money card. Lori also checks, and I toss out a half pot size bet of $78. To my surprise, Miss D decides to push all in. It's her entire stack. Over $400 into a $200 pot. I'm not really sure why this bet was so large, but I'm not mad about it either. And I'll tell you, once Lori folds, I make the call faster than a cheetah chasing a gazelle, only to see that Miss D's shove was only on top pair. And to make matters worse for Miss D, the dealer delivers a deuce on the river, giving her an inconsequential 2-pair. Man, the run good continues as I pick up the best hand ever created, pocket aces. I raise in the cutoff to 13 and pick up 3 callers as the flop comes out, King Queen 7 with 2 clubs. So I lead out for $25 and everybody folds. Easy game. Lori, who's under the gun, looks down at Big Slick and tosses out a bet of $30. Thinking she must be incredibly strong, I find one of my favorite ace killers, 8-7 of diamonds, so I make the call and everybody else gets out of the way. We're now heads up on a flop of Jack 8-7 all spades. I've flopped bottom 2 pair on this monotone board. Lori looks down at her cards, and I suspect she's holding on to at least an ace of spades as she tosses out a couple of green chips, and that leaves less than a pot-sized bet behind in her stack. I contemplated a raise at that point, and I wanted to put Lori to the test, but I wanted to keep my options open and the lead in the game, so I figure I would reevaluate on the turn. Which comes out a 3 of hearts. I'm still not convinced Lori hasn't already made her flush, so when she checks this turn, I toss out a black chip just to see where I'm at, and Lori makes the call. And as I ponder a bit, hoping for a blank river, I know there's not a fold button to be found no matter what card comes. And as we see, it's a Queen of clubs, so we both check, and my bottom 2 pair is good. Man, what a night! And as we see from the final analysis here, I'm up triple my buy-in, just under $2,000, and a VPIP and aggression frequency right around the 30% for both. That's it for this week's episode, and a huge thank you to Live at the Reserve for hosting Ladies' Night. My plan is to bring you action every Wednesday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central, so be sure to hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any of the action. Until next time, play smart, play with heart, and always have fun. This is Marty, and you've been watching Reflections of a River Rat.